I never thought I'd expose my daughter-in-law in front of everyone, but she left me no choice. Not after what she did to my son. Not after how she tried to destroy our family from the inside. And certainly not on his birthday. So when she stood up and humiliated me in front of all our guests, I picked up the remote and hit play. What followed? Silence, gasps, and the end of her lies. My name is Lorraine, that I've always been the kind of mother who minds her own business until my son's happiness was at stake. Ethan, my only child, is kind, loyal, and maybe a little too trusting for his own good. When he introduced us to Sabrina, his new girlfriend, I smiled, like any polite mother would. But deep down, something felt off. She had this calculating smile. She acted sweet, but her compliments were always backhanded. She'd say things like, "Wow, your house is so quaint. I love vintage stuff." Or, "Your cooking reminds me of my childhood, the school cafeteria days." But I said nothing for Ethan's sake. At first, I thought it was just me being protective, until I caught her looking through my medicine cabinet. Twice. Once while pretending to use the bathroom. The second time, she took pictures of the labels. I started to wonder, what was she planning? But again, I kept quiet because Ethan was happy. Or at least he seemed to be. Fast forward to Ethan's 30th birthday. A big celebration, balloons, cake, music, his childhood friends, neighbors, even co-workers were there. I had spent weeks planning it. But Sabrina? She spent the whole time on her phone, barely looked at Ethan, and kept whispering things to her sister, giggling while glancing at me. Then, as we were about to cut the cake, she clinked her glass and stood up. "Excuse me, everyone," she said. "I have something to say." I froze. She turned to me with a cold smile and said, "You've disgusted me since the day I met you, Lorraine." Gasps filled the room. My friends looked at me. Ethan looked horrified. She kept going. "You're manipulative, controlling, and honestly, I'm tired of pretending. You don't own this family just because you're Ethan's mother. We're not scared of you anymore." That's when I realized this wasn't a spontaneous outburst. This was planned. She wanted to humiliate me, break me down in front of everyone. But what she didn't know was, I wasn't the one hiding something. I looked at her calmly, smiled, and said, "Well, let's see if you like what I prepared for everyone." I turned to the TV and grabbed the remote. Earlier that week, I had received a message from an unknown number. It was a video, a security cam clip from a hotel lobby. Sabrina, kissing another man. Not once, not twice, multiple times, and in multiple locations. Different days, same man. Not my son. But that wasn't the worst part. I also found texts between her and her sister. The same sister who was giggling with her earlier. They were scheming, plotting how to get Ethan to marry her quickly so she could access his inheritance. "He's dumb but rich," one message read. "Once it's official, we'll get rid of the old hag." Guess who the old hag was? So when I hit play on that remote, the room went silent. Everyone watched as Sabrina's lies unfolded on the big screen. She screamed, tried to unplug the TV, but it was too late. My son just stood there, staring at her, then at me, and said, "Is this real, Mom?" I nodded, trying to hold back tears. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just said, "Get out, Sabrina. You're not welcome here. Not today. Not ever." The party was ruined, yes. But something was restored that day, my son's clarity. He saw the truth. Weeks later, he filed for a restraining order. Turns out, Sabrina had tried to open a line of credit under his name. That hotel guy, he was already under investigation for fraud. And her sister? Well, she ended up testifying against her in exchange for a lighter sentence. Me, I was branded the cold-hearted mother-in-law by some, but I'll wear that title with pride. Because sometimes justice isn't quiet. Sometimes it plays on a 55-inch screen. Right after someone tries to destroy your family. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to share your story in the comments. Your voice matters,